Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Kanye West, born on June 8, 1977, in Atlanta, Georgia, is one of the most influential, controversial, and polarizing figures in modern music and pop culture. Known for his innovation in hip-hop, unpredictable behavior, and for constantly pushing boundaries, West has built a career that defies categorization. As a rapper, producer, fashion designer, entrepreneur, and cultural icon, his work has consistently shaped and reshaped the soundscape of 21st century music. His personal life, lifestyle choices, and public statements have kept him in the spotlight, sometimes for praise, and often for scrutiny. This in-depth write-up explores Kanye West's journey from his early life to his music career, business ventures, political aspirations, lifestyle, controversies, and overall impact on global culture. Kanye West was born in Atlanta but raised in Chicago after his parents divorced when he was 3. His mother, Donda West, was an English professor and played a critical role in nurturing his intellectual and artistic sensibilities. His father, Ray West, was a former Black Panther and photojournalist. Kanye showed a keen interest in the arts from an early age, writing poetry at age 5 and later delving into music and painting. After briefly attending Chicago State University, where his mother taught, Kanye dropped out to pursue music full-time, a decision that inspired the title of his debut album, The College Dropout. Despite initial resistance from the music industry, which didn't take him seriously as a rapper, West persisted, eventually earning a reputation as a skilled producer. Kanye's first major break came as a producer for Roc-A-Fella Records in the early 2000s. He helped shape the sound of Jay-Z's The Blueprint, 2001, producing tracks like Izzo, H.O.V.A., and Takeover. His style, a mix of soul samples, pitched-up vocals, and hard-hitting drums, revitalized East Coast hip-hop. Other artists, including Alicia Keys, Ludacris, and Janet Jackson, began to seek him out. Despite his success behind the scenes, Kanye's ultimate goal was to become a solo artist. However, labels were reluctant to sign him as a rapper, doubting his street credibility and style. It wasn't until a near-fatal car crash in 2002 that West used the experience as inspiration for Through the Wire, a breakout single recorded with his jaw still wired shut. The song's raw emotion and authenticity won over fans and critics alike. West's first album revolutionized hip-hop with its soul-infused production and thoughtful, vulnerable lyrics. Unlike the dominant gangster rap of the time, Kanye rapped about religion, self-consciousness, and social issues. Songs like Jesus Walks and Through the Wire, recorded while his jaw was wired shut after a car crash, showcased his storytelling ability and musical bravery. The album was a commercial and critical success, winning a Grammy for Best Rap Album and establishing West as a major force in music. Late Registration, 2005, and Graduation, 2007. West followed up with Late Registration, working with composer John Bryan to create lush, orchestral hip-hop. Songs like Gold Digger and Touch the Sky continued his streak of hits. His third album, Graduation, marked a shift toward electronic sounds, inspired by Daft Punk and Europop, as seen in Stronger. It cemented West's dominance and culminated in his famous rivalry with 50 Cent, whom he outsold in a well-publicized sales battle. 808s and Heartbreak, 2008. After the death of his mother Donda in 2007 and a breakup with his fiancée, West turned inward. 808s and Heartbreak was a departure. He sang using auto-tune over sparse, melancholic beats. Though divisive at first, the album's emotional vulnerability would influence artists like Drake, Kid Cudi, and The Weeknd. It paved the way for a new type of introspective melodic rap. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, 2010. Often cited as his magnum opus, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was a maximalist masterpiece blending orchestral grandeur, aggressive rap, and cultural critique. Songs like Power, Runaway, and All of the Lights demonstrated his perfectionism and ambition. The album received universal acclaim and is frequently ranked among the best albums of the 21st century. Yeezus, 2013, and The Life of Pablo, 2016. West's Yeezus was abrasive and minimalist, influenced by industrial music and punk. Tracks like Black Skinhead and New Slaves were angry and confrontational, challenging listeners and critics alike. The Life of Pablo, released via streaming and constantly updated post-release, reflected his chaotic creativity. It included hits like Ultralight Beam and Famous, which reignited feuds with Taylor Swift and others. Yeah, Kids See Ghosts and Gospel Era, 2018-2021. In 2018, West released Yet. That same year, he collaborated with Kid Cudi on Kids See Ghosts, an acclaimed joint album blending alternative rock, soul, and hip-hop. In 2019, he pivoted to Christian music with Jesus is King, winning a Grammy for Best Contemporary Christian Music Album. In 2021, after multiple delays and elaborate listening parties, West released Donda, a sprawling, heavily thematic project named after his mother. Donda 2 and current music. Donda 2, 2022, was released exclusively via his STEM player device, bypassing traditional streaming platforms. Though less cohesive than his past work, it showcased his continuing interest in controlling how fans experience his music. As of 2025, West is rumored to be working on new projects and has teased collaborations with younger artists. Fashion and business ventures. West's impact extends far beyond music. His fashion career has transformed streetwear and luxury alike. Yeezy brand. Launched in collaboration with Nike in 2009, with the Air Yeezy, Kanye later partnered with Adidas in 2013. The Yeezy sneakers became a cultural phenomenon, combining exclusivity with avant-garde design. The Yeezy 350, 700, and foam runners sold out instantly and were resold for multiples of retail prices. West also launched clothing collections under the Yeezy label, favoring muted earth tones and minimalist design. While the clothing received mixed reviews, it was undeniably influential. In 2020, Kanye signed a 10-year deal with Gap for a Yeezy X Gap line, though the partnership ended prematurely in 2022. Other ventures. Donda, creative content company named after his mother, the company has handled music videos, live performances, and design. STEM Player, a device allowing users to remix music in real time. Real estate. West has bought extensive land in Wyoming and pursued futuristic housing and sustainable architecture. Politics. In 2020, he ran for president of the United States as an independent candidate under the birthday party, garnering minor support. Public persona and controversies. Kanye West is as famous for his public behavior as his art. He's made headlines for interrupting award shows, feuding with fellow artists, and making erratic statements, especially during interviews and on social media. Taylor Swift incident, 2009. At the MTV Video Music Awards, Kanye infamously interrupted Taylor Swift's speech to say Beyoncé deserved the award. The moment sparked years of tension and debate about celebrity behavior, media narratives, and public accountability. Mental health and bipolar disorder. In 2016, Kanye was hospitalized after a public breakdown. He later revealed he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. He's been open about his struggles with mental health, sometimes using it to explain erratic behavior, while critics argue it doesn't excuse harm. Political support for Donald Trump. Kanye shocked fans by publicly supporting Donald Trump in 2018, wearing a MAGA hat and meeting with him in the Oval Office. He claimed it was about challenging political norms and independent thought. But the move alienated many longtime supporters. Religious conversion and Sunday service. In 2019, Kanye began hosting Sunday service events, spiritual musical gatherings, blending gospel music, hip-hop, and sermons. These events drew celebrities, fans, and religious followers alike, and symbolized a dramatic shift in West's priorities. Divorce from Kim Kardashian. West married reality star Kim Kardashian in 2014. Their relationship was intensely public and heavily covered by the media. They had 4 children: North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, before filing for divorce in 2021. The split, coupled with Kanye's ongoing personal issues, became a frequent topic of public scrutiny. Lifestyle and wealth. Kanye West's lifestyle is extravagant, creative, and often controversial. Real estate and property. West has owned multiple high-profile properties, including a sprawling ranch in Cody, Wyoming, several homes in Hidden Hills, California, experimental housing prototypes based on African architecture. He's expressed interest in building Yeezy communities with sustainable housing and holistic living. Wealth and net worth. West's financial status has fluctuated. In 2021, Forbes estimated his net worth at over $1.8 billion, primarily from Yeezy. However, after losing major partnerships, including Adidas, due to anti-Semitic comments in 2022, his net worth significantly dropped. He remains a multimillionaire with substantial influence. Cars, art, and personal style. Kanye has a luxury car collection including Lamborghinis, Maybachs, and armored vehicles. He's an avid collector of contemporary art and works with designers and architects to craft unique personal spaces. His fashion sense, once flashy, later minimalist, has influenced millions. Legacy and cultural impact. Kanye West's impact on music, fashion, and culture is monumental. He has redefined hip-hop multiple times, from soul-infused rap to electronic experimentation, introduced emotional vulnerability and artistic ambition to a genre often bound by tradition, elevated hip-hop fashion into high fashion through Yeezy, influenced a generation of artists, from Travis Scott to Tyler, the Creator. Despite his polarizing behavior, West remains a symbol of artistic risk and creative genius. Kanye West is not easily defined. He's a musical innovator, a fashion mogul, a cultural disruptor, and a deeply complex individual. His career has seen incredible highs: critical acclaim, commercial success, cultural influence, and painful lows: controversies, public backlash, and personal struggles. Yet through it all, he remains an emblem of relentless creativity and ambition. In a world that often rewards predictability, Kanye thrives on chaos. Whether admired or criticized, he continues to challenge the status quo, insisting that greatness demands discomfort. As the years go on, his legacy will likely grow even more complex, but undeniably, he has already etched his name into the history of music and culture.